Hi Tarot Tribe, it's Ethany and welcome to part 2 of my Prince Lenormand Oracle spreads. So this one is in the back of your little set here in the booklet, the Grand Tableau. So this is an example reading of the Grand Tableau as promised, with a few little tips on how to interpret that spread. So let's go and have a look. Okay, so now we're going to do the Grand Tableau. Okay, so the first thing you need to do with the Grand Tableau is get your Significator card. We're going to do one today for a male client. So this client has chosen to identify with this man card in the Prince Lenormand Oracle deck. He has chosen that. And as normal, we have either asked the client to take this card and hold it while they're telling us why they're here, or we hold it in our hands and we activate it for them, or you can do both. I like to have the client hold the card, tell me why they're here, give the card back to me, and then repeat back to them what they're here for, just so that I'm showing that I'm understanding their needs and requirements. And then I pop the card back into the deck and then I would shuffle. So there are more than one way of reading the Grand Tableau, but this is a way that I like to read it. So then we shuffle the deck. And I'm going to give context, because context is super important when we're talking about a reading. So our client John has come in because he's having some trouble at work. Let's not do a relationship spread. We did that with the direct lines. So he's having some trouble at work. He's clashing with his manager and his teammates, and he wants to know what's going on and how he can make this better. So I've shuffled the cards. Now I'm going to, normally I would pop this down and ask the client, or the client would shuffle it and cut the deck. And then with the Grand Tableau, we lay the whole thing out. So we're going to do that. Now the Lenormand is red, all upright. Okay, so if any of the cards get switched around or put backwards, we would turn them, and we're not finding that right now. So we're still, okay, so that one, we're still going in, putting all the cards down. So my deck also has a wild card in it, which not all Lenormand decks do. And it comes with a bean card as well, which I seem to have. Oh, it was stuck in the box. I didn't even check, so I'm just gonna do that. Check that you've got all the cards. Okay, so we're gonna put those there. They got stuck in the box when I was taking them out. Alrighty, so now we've laid all of the cards here. The great thing about the Grand Tableau is it gives us a big picture. My deck does come with the poster for the first 150 people who have purchased the deck, because that's as many as I've got, and then I may do more, but it's definitely a bonus right now. So if you do purchase it, over at ethny.com, you will get this poster, which is super helpful when you're reading the cards because it does also have the houses. Alright, so what we do now, we look for the man card. Now, as you can see here, the man card is right there. It's quite at the top, which is not such a bad thing. So everything from the, I need like a wand, I need a pointer. Everything from here, okay, that's the past. Everything to the left. And then everything else is the future. Okay, so we've got a lot going on in the future. If the Grand Tableau, if you do lay the Grand Tableau and the Significator is here, that's fine. There's just a lot in the future. You don't have to worry about it. And if it's here, there's a lot in the past. But normally it's said that if the Significator card is at the first or the last, try reshuffling it and lay it again, especially if it's down there, because everyone knows their past. No one really wants to come to a diviner to go over their past in great length. They want to know what their future and what's around them and the energies around them. So they want to know more about that. So reshuffle it and see if you can move that reading. And if it's not happening, if it happens again, if it lays itself there, then come back another day or try phrasing the question in a different way. And if it still happens, you are getting a clear sign from the spirit that you need to do this at another time. So now that we've identified where our Significator card is, we look at the first card and the last card. Okay, it's a little unfair because I popped them down there because of the fact that I left them in the box. But we got the stars, which is the hopes, like the direction card. And then we got the being card or a person card. So there's a person, there's people very well away from that. Sorry folks, gosh, I just kicked my tripod. Yeah, it's very far away from them, so that's okay. We just have a look to see because it's the beginning and the end of the story. The star card is our direction card. So the direction is behind him. He doesn't really feel like he's got a lot of direction. And this is reiterated because right next to him, so we've done that, we see the direction is far away from him. There's also quite a few other things. We'll get back to that. So the first step, identify your Significator card. Then your first and your last cards, have a look at the beginning and the end of the story. Next step, look at your Significator card and what's around it. So we have to the left, the house card. So this could be that he literally has a mortgage that he needs to take care of, so he needs to work. And then we've got the choices card, which is the crossroads there. So he is really being faced with a choice right now, whether he wants to stay in this environment and stay in this job or whether he wants to look somewhere else. And whether that choice feels like it's something that is going to be forced upon him or whether it's something he's going to be taking in his hands. And then we also have the garden, the garden below him. So he is, and when things are below a Significator, it can be that he feels like he's standing over them. So because the card is a social people card, he may be seen as very expertise or seen by his colleagues as better than them, or they may think that he thinks that he's better than them. A lot of this is going to be your intuition and cluing in with the client and having a dialogue with them as well. And then you've got the luck card there, the good luck card. So there are quite positive cards around the Significator, which is good. And then you have the ship there as well, which can be about travel to far off places or conferences if it's work, things like traveling for work or long distance relationships. So it really does depend on the context of the reading. But we have a work one, so this could be about going to conferences and things like that. So then what I do is I read the past. Okay, so I'm going to read this top line here. So guidance, these three cards actually, the star, the heart and the moon, these three here are kind of like your calling in a way, especially when it's those three together, because the hopes and dreams and that recognition card is the moon, and then you've got your guidance in your heart, so you're being guided and you have direction. You feel like, yeah, I've got this, I've got direction, and you feel like you've got the love, but it's right near that, but it's all the way in the past. It's like it was a long time ago, especially when we got the tower there. So this would be like you've really kind of lost your love for this this work. There's been change. So when you've so now I'm looking for all of these. I'm looking at the combinations, and when we go through this in the Tarot Readers Academy, I talk about doing drills in 2s, 3s, 5s and squares. So you need to learn quite a bit of these combinations, and you only learn through practice. So then we've had a lot of change. So the stork and then the birds. There's been almost like a whole changeover of people in this high turnover. The staff have been changed over a lot. And then you've got contracts in a house. So there, you've bought a house, so you're looking for some security. Where we kind of get into a little bit of trouble though is the whip and the scythe, the letter. But then it's good because you've got the sun, but then you've got the mice. Okay, so these are sort of the whip, the scythe and the mice are kind of warning cards, along with the snake there as well. So it feels like this is a repetitive thing, being the whip being repetitive, but that's going to change. There's going to be a swift change in this person's role. So then maybe their job changes or they get promoted, the letter and the sun. But it's still, we're still going to come back to this main problem, which is we don't love it anymore, okay? Because the mice is about the feeling like you're losing things, like you're not really in love with it anymore. Here is beautiful, and considering it's very close to the home here, the bouquet, the woman and the clover, I would say that's very connected to his home life. So he has a very happy home life, and he tends to be a very lucky person and lands on his feet pretty well. So we've already kind of gone over the garden and the ship, so we'll come down here to the anchor, the mountains, the snake and the bear. So this here is that security, but there's an obstacle in the way of security, and it is directly linked to the snakes. The snake is that warning card. So we do have another bit of a warning card, and here it's like not getting, for me, if this was my client, because it's right, see the square here, we've got the mountain, the snake, fox, the coffin. Do not get involved with drama at work. Do not get involved with people that you feel are dodgy. Don't get involved in gossip or politics as much as you possibly can, although you do have to kind of play the game a little bit to get ahead. That's just the way it is. But there is a bit of, with the fox and the snake there together, there's a bit of BS going on. So you want to remove yourself from that as much as possible. He does have there is loyalty though. There are some people there, the dog and the trees and the rider. So there are some faithful people to him and some loyal people, but just not getting kind of involved in the drama and even dragged into the drama by those people that he feels that are very loyal to him. And then we've got the cross, which is responsibility, the wild card and money. So his responsibilities and the fact that he takes his job very seriously are going to win him rewards and recognition. But that is going to be, then you've got it right next down here with the liar, which is the fox, or can be doing whatever you need to do to get the job done, and the coffin. So while that is a recognition, it may be very short-lived, but the secret to this and the key to success in the lilies and the child, and then we also have the clouds, the ring and the ring there, the long-term commitment, is it looks like there is going to be a new job for this person. He's going to move out of the job that he's got. Keys can literally be keys, or it can be the key to understanding or knowledge, or the aha moment, as it were. Moving to a new place, we've got the child, which can be moving to, which is newness, new opportunity. The clouds, see how the clouds, you've got the shiny, the sunny clouds and the rainy clouds. The rainy clouds are like pushing towards the current situation, kind of going up, directing up, but the sunny clouds are near the child and near the ring as well. So that new commitment is going to come forward and he's going to be able to start again, and maybe in something that he loves a bit more as well. So So that is an example of how to use the Grand Tableau. It's one example of how to use the Grand Tableau and one example of a reading. If you do have your copy of the Prince Lenormand Oracle, don't forget that in the back on page 27 you've got a 30% discount to the Learn the Lenormand Oracle course on the Tarot Readers Academy. It is lifetime access, like everything that the Tarot Readers Academy has. It's video, pre-recorded video training, as well as a lot of written content. You can go back to it as many times as you want. You can watch things as many times as you want. And we add content as well, at least yearly we do an upgrade. So the course starts on the 29th of August. And once it starts, you can start at any time. It's self-guided. So I hope you enjoyed this video and an example on how to read the Grand Tableau, and subscribe if you like tarot, divination, Lenormand, oracle decks, reviews, and just, you know, general divining awesomeness. And thanks for watching.